So adherence is an interesting topic too, because you can say, for example, we'll take MFA, for example. You can say on your application process that you're enabling MFA. Fast forward 6 months down the line, and suddenly the maintenance of your environment, half your people have MFA on, half of them don't. And that's part of just kind of managing and adhering to, what you said to the policy provider, what you're doing in that environment. So making sure that it's being maintained, it's being adhered to. Otherwise, if a breach happens and they go in there and they say, "Oh well, only half of your people have MFA on," then again they're just they're not going to pay that policy, right? So adhering to what you're telling the insurance provider is critical, to make sure that as you go through the year and every annual time, because it's going to change every year, but throughout that process that you're maintaining your environment, you're maintaining your backups, you're maintaining all the technology that you're putting in place, and you're making sure that it works properly. Otherwise, it's all for naught.
Well, and one of the things that I'll say that I've seen, which is interesting, we hear a lot when it comes to board level mandates, or ownership says we need to do this, or hey, we got this insurance thing and we get this filled out. And then we'll come back as a company and say, okay, well, here are the things that you as an organization need to do in order to be more secure. This is how you're going to be compliant with whatever your regulatory industry says you need to do, or, in order to get this contract, or in order to honestly fill out this insurance policy. And what we'll find is that sometimes the organization itself knows it needs to do it, but from a top down, there are certain people at the C-suite or at the ownership level or whatever that's like, look, MFA is great for everybody but me. And that's hard because I don't want to do it. And so that adherence, in order for a company to really be successful in managing a security program, has to be a top-down approach. And it has to come from everybody at the top, because typically what we've seen is when it happens that those people in an organization, whether they're a partner or owner or part of the C-suite, don't adhere to the same security policies and processes they've asked everybody else to, I guarantee you more than half of the time that we wind up seeing a breach in an organization, it is one of those C-suite people that are breached, that did not adhere to the same policies and processes that the rest of the organization was required to. And at that point, suddenly everything changes, and now they actually implement all of the policies across the board for everybody. And so what we really want to stress to everybody is IT security has to become a program that is a part of everything that a company does everywhere. And it can't be just something that only happens on the sales side or only happens at execution or operations. Like, it has to come from the top down, and everybody has to do it the same way. And yeah, it's hard to do IT, or it takes time to, it's not hard. It takes time to do your security phishing training. It takes time. And if you're a busy executive, like, it's hard to find time to do that. But you have to do it. And you got to take the time. Yeah, logging in using multi-factor authentication takes a little longer. But you know what? As somebody that's in charge or in control of, or has the ability to move things at a much different pace within an organization, you're a target. You're a big target. And it would be a lot easier to get into your systems and to take advantage of you, they could do a lot more damage that way. And it also damages the rest of the organization's view of how the security systems work if the senior management team isn't willing to do the same thing that the people down level are doing. They don't take it as seriously. And so we really strongly advise everybody to do that.
Yeah, and don't become complacent. Just like Patrick said with the maintenance, you've got to maintain this adherence, because many times I've seen, as a result of an application, or as a result of a compromise or a breach, where a company will, everything's priority now, let's do all the security stuff, let's get it all in place. And then once the event dies down, they don't maintain it, and they become lackluster, and then they're vulnerable again, right?